Hey friends, it's Madame Fromage, and today I'm inviting you into my kitchen to try one cheese at 3 different ages to train your palate and learn about flavor. My cheese is Comte. It's from France, the Jura region along the Swiss border. This is a raw milk cheese from grass-fed local cows, and it's really known for developing nuanced flavors over time. So it's a fun cheese to use for a tasting or to do this just at home at your kitchen table on, say, a quiet weekend with a little sparkling water to have between bites. And I also encourage you to grab your notebook so you can jot down some flavors. So I have Comte at 10 months, at 20 months, and at 30 months, which is almost 3 years of age. Each one is going to smell and taste and even look different. So when you're tasting a cheese like this, here's what I encourage you to do. First, make some observations. So at 10 months, this cheese is very springy. To me, it smells like fresh milk, grassy, slightly herbaceous, so kind of a green taste or green aromatics. Here, now it's 20 months. I'm beginning to notice some tyrosine crystals. Those are those little white dots that will give a snap, crackle, pop effect on the tongue. And at 20 months, this cheese is starting to smell sweet, even a little bit tropical. I get some pineapple from the nose. Keep in mind that you might smell and taste very different things from what you see in this video, but I just want to encourage you to begin to play and come up with some of your own references. There's even a Comte tasting wheel online that will give you, I think, over like 80 aromatic notes that you can possibly find in Comte. Now, wow. At 30 months, this cheese smells like chocolate, like cocoa, roasty notes. I can see a lot of tyrosine crystals, and it's developed a bit of a caramel color. That's because this cheese is losing moisture and becoming more concentrated in its flavor. It's also getting a little smaller, it's shrinking. So I've made some observations, I've given it the sniff test, now I'm gonna taste these 3 cheeses. So at 10 months, again, I just like to do a re-sniff. Often I'll make a clean break. I'm using room temperature cheese. This is delicately sweet, a little bit like steamed milk. It makes me think of a steamed milk and honey, just sort of like a bedtime drink. Just so comforting, snackable. Cheese number 2, 20 months Comte. This is the one that smelled like pineapple. I'm curious to see how it'll taste. Yes. Now the sweetness is coming into play. Fruitiness. You can see I brought onto the board some of the flavors that are in this cheese. I've got some nuts and apricots, a walnut fig bread that my cousin baked yesterday, some fresh fruit, and even some chocolate, dark chocolate for this last one. So 20-month Comte, one of my favorites. Again, tropical fruit notes, really interesting, long finish, beautiful. This is a bit like tasting wine, as you can see. Okay, now 3 years, 30 months. Again, that bitter, roasty, when I say bitter, it's not a bad, it's just a kind of a gently roasty smell. Has a pleasing sweet saltiness, a real concentration of flavors. There's moments where it tastes a bit like broth, but then on the finish, definitely dark chocolate, roasted hazelnuts, and a little bit of bacon. What fun. Friends, I encourage you in these long winter months to bring cheese to your table and simply play. And one great way to do this is to try an aged cheese at different ages. Comte is easy to find, and often you will see it labeled at different months. So you can ask your cheesemonger, can I taste 3 different Comtes? Or just look on the packaging for the age. If you want something to drink alongside, I love Comte with light to dark beer, if you wanted to do the full spectrum of flavors here. Or I often suggest a light, bright white or a light red. In the Jura, you would be drinking vin jaune, which is a wonderful wine, acidic with these sort of green walnut notes. If you can find a Jura wine, if you can find vin jaune, grab a bottle. It will complete this tasting and give you the feeling of being there in France, enjoying the terroir. If you're curious to learn more about this cheese or other cheeses to explore at your table, I encourage you to visit my sponsor's website. It's iloveimportedcheese.com. Every month they allow me to bring something to the table for you to try at home, and I'm so grateful for their support. Mwah. Cheers. Let me know if you try 3 ages or even 2 ages of Comte at home, and also what you taste. I would love to hear your tasting notes. Cheers.